Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're diving into something really cool, the world of vintage silver and how you can actually use it to change your home's entire vibe. Seriously, we're not just talking about putting pretty things on a shelf. This is more like luminous alchemy.
So, let me ask you something. Do you have one of those spots in your house, a corner, maybe a whole room that just feels dead? No matter what you do, new paint, more lamps, it just feels flat and lifeless. It's a really common problem, right?
Well, what if I told you the solution isn't just buying another lamp? We're going to go a little deeper. We're actually going to play with the physics of the room, using a tool you probably aren't expecting.
And that tool, it's silver, but not just any silver. We're talking about vintage, silver-plated decor. I want you to stop thinking of it as just a fancy object. From now on, we're going to treat it like what it really is, a powerful, functional source of light. You might be thinking, okay, but why not just hang a mirror? It's a fair question. But here's the thing, a regular mirror gives you a cold, kind of blue, direct reflection. A silver-plated tray, on the other hand, gives off this warm, yellow, diffused glow. It doesn't just bounce the light back at you, it actually transforms it into something that feels warm, inviting, and alive.
So let's get into the why. Why does silver work this kind of magic? This is where we get into the really cool stuff, the actual alchemy of the metal itself.
The source material puts this perfectly. It says silver has a soul that modern metals like chrome or stainless steel just lack. It has this incredible, almost magical ability to grab the absolute weakest light. We're talking a single candle flame or the light from a street lamp outside your window and amplify it, turning it into this real source of warmth in a room.
And this note from a master just nails it. The difference is that warmth. Chrome reflects cold, blue light. Silver reflects warm, yellow, inviting light. And that, right there, is the difference between a room that feels sterile and one that feels like a lived-in, welcoming home.
This brings us to a core concept I want you to remember, shadow silver. Here's the idea. You take your shiniest, brightest silver piece, and you intentionally put it in the darkest part of the room. So, imagine a big silver plate leaning against the back of a dark, heavy bookshelf. Suddenly, it's not just sitting there. It's acting like a small window, breaking up that dark black hole and turning that big piece of furniture into a real feature.
And here's something that might surprise you. You do not need perfection. In fact, don't fear the wear and tear. If you find an old piece where the silver has worn through and you can see the copper base underneath, that's called bleed. That is not a flaw. That's a feature. It adds this whole other layer of coppery warmth to the reflection and, it tells the piece's story.
In fact, and this note points out, a really worn piece can have what's described as a moonlight glow. How beautiful is that? It's so much more subtle and sophisticated than some brand new, super shiny thing from a store. So really, age and wear, they're your friends here.
Okay, so we've got the why down. You get the theory. Now let's switch gears to the how. Let's build a practical, tactical guide you can start using like today.
Think of this as your cheat sheet. You can see how different shapes give you totally different effects. A flat tray, that's going to give you a high, almost mirror-like reflection, perfect for hanging on a wall or on a sideboard. But a deep bowl, that creates a much softer, more diffused light, which is just gorgeous on a coffee table. Candlesticks give that warm, directional glow, and little ornaments create this wonderful, scattered sparkle. So, here are 4 super effective tactical moves. Number 1, put a big tray directly opposite a window. It will literally double the brightness during the day. 2, place a silver bowl right under a lamp to spread that harsh downward light across the whole tabletop. 3, a simple silver dish on a bench in your entryway. It's the first thing guests see, a little welcoming sparkle. And 4, put small silver items on dark bookshelves to create this beautiful rhythm of light among the dark spines of books. All right, now before you run off to the thrift store, let's quickly tackle a few common questions and, bust some myths that might be holding you back.
This is the big one, isn't it? The maintenance. Everyone thinks if you own silver, you're signing up for a lifetime of constant, tedious polishing.
Well, the answer is a big, resounding no. It is totally a style choice. You're in control. If you want that bright, maximum light reflection, yeah, keep it polished. But if you prefer a moody, textured, kind of old-world vibe, just let it tarnish. It looks amazing either way. It's completely up to you.
Here's another great question. Do you need to be on the lookout for expensive, solid sterling silver? Or is silver plate the way to go for this?
Honestly, for what we're talking about, just decoration, silver plate is often way better.
The pieces are usually heavier, they're more durable, and you can get these huge, impactful statement pieces, like a massive tray, without the crazy high cost and worry that comes with solid sterling.
Okay, last one. What about that old design rule that you're not supposed to mix your metals? Can you really put cool silver next to warm gold or brass?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, you should. That cool, bright reflection from the silver is a beautiful, beautiful balance to the warm tones of brass or gold. When you mix them, it keeps a room from feeling too one-note and adds so much more depth and visual interest.
And I think at the end of the day, it all really comes down to this idea. Decorating isn't about chasing the latest trend you saw online. It's about finding these clever, beautiful tools that solve real problems and make your space truly work for you.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. As you look around your own home right now, which dark corner, which shadow are you going to bring to life first?